What would you do if you're a father sitting in a whole lot of money and your daughter is dying and money can save your daughter's life? Would you wait on the line for a kidney donor, or would you buy the kidney to save your daughter's life? Let me hear your reply in the comment section down below. My name is Nsika Nabasi, and if this is your first time of coming across my channel, please subscribe, like my video, and share my video. Turn on the post notification bell for more wonderful videos like this. So let me take you on a ride you will never forget. Let's enjoy ourselves. Okay, today we are looking at the case of Senator Ike Ekweremadu and the wife, who are currently being held in the United Kingdom for allegations of bringing a 15-year-old David Okpo into the United Kingdom on the notes of good life and education, but with a hidden agenda of kidney harvesting. Okay, when this news came up, it caused a whole lot of confusion in the country, and with various opinion, some saying that is good for him, that's what he's been doing, some saying the young man has lied, some saying that if Peter Obi becomes the president of Nigeria, Nigeria will turn into a harvesting country. Well, some people that are not backing the senator, that are wishing that that's what the price he has, I don't know where their anger is coming from, but I feel some of their anger stems from his last comments, where he said that Peter Obi does not have the capacity to be the president.
No doubt, Peter is our son, but we need to be dynamic. You ask ourselves, can Peter win the presidential election? Can the East afford to throw away their votes? Can we afford to be sentimental in matters that concern our people and our children and our future? The answer is no.
Emanates from. So we're going to look at a whole lot of things here, so you can determine for yourself who is lying and who is not lying. First and foremost, the daughter of Senator Ike Ekweremadu is losing it, and all she needs is a kidney to survive. And the father said to a couple of friends, my daughter, whom you know is sick, is in need of a kidney. And the friends decided they are going to help out. And one of the friends, by the name of Mr. Koro, approached David, a young man who is a bricklayer in Enugu State, was in a construction site in a remote place in Enugu State when he was approached. Mr. Koro promised David good education and good work, all to be covered by a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who happens to hail from Enugu State too. Because he needed to say all this because David had reservations about going over there without not being sure of what he's going over to do there and who is funding it. So let's take it that that's all what David was told as at that particular point in time, meaning they started off on a wrong foot. But what if David was clearly told the truth as at that point? Just have that at the back of your mind. So now it begs the question, who is lying to who? Did the senator and his people lie to David that they are going to give him a good work, but with a plan of harvesting his kidney? Or did David knowingly agree to the senator's kidney donation plan with his own plan of, when getting to the United Kingdom, is gonna seek for asylum on the note of kidnapping and trafficking and organ harvesting? We wouldn't know until the United Kingdom completes their interrogation. But what we so far know is that David is a bricklayer. He was contacted by Mr. Okoro. David confirmed that he met a second man, and when he met the second man that Mr. Okoro took him to meet, the second man asked him, "Do you know what you are going to the UK to do?" That's a very big question, which, as at that point, I believed David would have asked, outside what Mr. Okoro had told me, is there any other thing I need to know? But let's say David did not ask because the excitement of going over to the United Kingdom to work and better his life and better the life of the people back home was too good to pass by. So he didn't ask the question he was supposed to ask. But let's look at it also at this angle. If David had met these two people, is it that David didn't go back home to tell his people, I'm going over to the UK and this is what I'm going over to the UK to do, and I'm going under the auspice of a senator? Now, if somebody wants to take your word to the United Kingdom or outside the country, I believe the family will want to meet one or two persons. And if it were to be a senator in this context, they would have wanted to meet the senator in person, or needed a very strong assurance of the safety of their child. So we didn't hear anything about that has to do with David. And the next thing that happened was that David was in the United Kingdom. So when David got to United Kingdom, he went to meet the doctor by name Dr. Harry. And the UK, before they take any medical procedure, they make you comfortable. They get to know that you are sure of what you are going to do, and you go by signing a paper that you give your own consent. So it was at this point that the doctor realized that what he was about to do is not what David came to UK to do. So David now said, "Sir, I came here for education and a good job," whereas the doctor was getting ready to make preparations for a kidney transplant. So that's when the doctor alerted the police, and the police came and took control of everything, which resulted in the arrest of the senator and the wife, who are currently behind bars. But there are things that are not adding up. The news that got out there said David is 15 years old. The brother came out later to say David is 25 years old. A friend said later that David is 22-year old. The BVN and the passport that was used to procure his visa states that David was born on the 12th of October 2000, which makes David 21-year old. So who is lying here? Is it that David knew all along and was trying to play a fast one on the senator and his people? Or is it that David had planned this out with his family, that on getting to UK he's going to seek an asylum on the auspice of organ harvesting and kidnapping, so that he wouldn't come back to Nigeria? Now, is it that David went to do all his papers, the visa procurements? We know the UK visa procurements, they don't really ask much questions. You drop all your necessary documents stating what you are going there to do and the duration of what you are doing, and you do a biometrics. That's what the UK do, unlike the US that you have to answer a whole lot of questions. So if the document stated kidney donation, then Senator Ike Ekweremadu didn't lie. But if the document stated education and a job, then David is not lying and Senator Ike Ekweremadu and his people are lying. But let's not forget, we are talking about a senator here that can perform wonders. These are Nigerian politicians, and they can perform wonders when it comes to procurement of papers. So we don't really know what is going on here, because it looks somehow to say that David met three good people. He even mentioned he met the last person who was supposed to be the owner of the company he was supposed to go work for in the United Kingdom. So he met these three people, and not once has any of them opened up to say that you are going for a kidney transplant. I doubt it. I want to be supporting David here, but the details of his age doesn't tally and makes it skeptical too. His family saying that since January was the last time they spoke to him. So between January and this time, where has David been? And if you are going for a kidney transplant, several preparations are done. You have to check the person you are getting the kidney, the donor from. Does it match? And a whole lot of tests are being done, and the papers are forwarded to where the transplant will be done. So what happened in this whole process? We've not heard anything about it. Or are they simply telling us that David was blindsided, or the whole verbal discussion was totally different from what the papers had? So this case is a very, very confusing case. For me, I believe I'm going to wait for the whole interrogation to take place so we know the whole truth, because for the whole interrogation to take place, we have to hear from all the third parties, because the third parties will play a key role on the truth in this whole case. So as at this point, I would refrain from calling Senator Ike Ekweremadu an organ affairs star, because he was just doing what a good father, a normal father, any father anywhere with a whole lot of money was doing, should do to save the life of his daughter.